Welcome back to TacosandGeeks.com Essential Anime episode 51. Justin here, back with Ashley, and we are going to be talking about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. As always, we give you a brief synopsis. So here we go. Abandoned by their father as kids because he's a douchebag, two young brothers,
It
Edward
really
and
is
Elric,
though.
live with their mother in a small town called Resembool. And I probably botched that. Ashley will correct me. After losing their mother to a terminal illness, they try to resurrect her using alchemy, a science which allows you to transform physical matter from one form to another. How can we do essential anime without including Full Metal Alchemist?
Mhm.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, here's the thing. Everybody, the thing is, some people like the original better, and some people love Brotherhood better. Ashley, what is your preference? I mean, obviously, we're doing Brotherhood, so I'm assuming Brotherhood you prefer.
I mean, yes, Brotherhood all the way. And the only reason why I say Brotherhood is because it's closer to the manga material, but I
Yeah.
feel like it's so much there's so much more meat to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um and just like there's more characters, and I mean, like, it still follows a storyline of what happens to the brothers. Um, but I just feel like it's just the art style is so much better. The characters are like in depth how they are, and it's just so much better. Um, so yeah, I think Brotherhood is better than the original. Now the original is great. Like, you can't knock the original Full Metal Alchemist, but I think Full Metal Alchemist the Brotherhood was better.
And the thing of, and this is one of those other animes that you had me watching. If you've seen episode 50 of Essential Anime, we discussed a little bit of the three animes actually had me watching. So Full Metal Alchemist, and I also got to add Soul Eater to that list because that was another one. Soul Eater, Elemental Gile, and of course we just did Oran High School Host Club. One thing I will say, after out of all of them, I definitely love Full Metal Alchemist the most. What really drew me, and if those who've been watching us for years, they know that I love the more slice of life type of anime aspects of it. And obviously, this is not a slice of life anime, but in a way, it is kind of a coming of age story for these two boys.
There's a lot of
Just
slices though.
having to grow, kind of grow up because their moms died, the dad left, and they got to pretty much Elric and Ed got to kind of survive on their own, and especially them having these type of alchemy powers and things of that nature. There are moments in here that you're just going, especially I will say in the beginning when we're introduced to them before we, Ed turns to, that big,
Mm,
you know,
Alphonse,
yeah.
the little
And
brother.
yeah, sorry, yeah. And you get to see a little bit of their backstory, and you just go, wow, this is heartbreaking. And then it just goes a little bit into more of a darker type of tone. And that's what really drew me into it immediately, was the plight of these characters. Actually, what is it about this anime, and why do you feel like it should be added to the collection?
It's the characters and the storyline, really. Of course, also the voice acting is also incredible, and the dubbed as well as the subbed. Um, I just feel like it, as you said, it's heartbreaking, and you follow along with Ed and Al on this journey from beginning to end, and you're so invested in what's happening, and not only
Hmm.
with them but also with the people around them. um and like it's the relationships, because, like, I mean, these brothers had to grow up counting on each other, so the trust that they have for anybody outside of like their inner circle is trust but verify type of
Yeah.
situations. um and like how you understand why Ed is such a hothead and arrogant and all of these things, just because of like what he's been through, and how Al is just so sweet and just so just so that little kid brother, but like without spoiling anything, I feel like Ed and Al's relationship is like a metaphor for when you're growing up and you realize that a lot of things that you were innocent to, or a lot of things that you were ignorant for, slowly start to deteriorate.
Yeah.
And then you realize like, oh, this is reality. And I feel like Al is like Ed's innocence in a way, and Al is and Ed is Al's like mature side trying to like come through. Like, and I don't know if I said that right, or how I'm like thinking so like philosophically about this, but it's just because I'm just thinking of like the characters, and like the characters of like Road Mustang. Like we get to see in this series like how he ticks, and then like when you see him, all I say is when you see him go up against Envy, it's like hands down one of the best anime showdowns ever. And I think a lot of people put it at their like their top list of like best anime fights, because it's just so raw and just so like it's so guttural.
Evil.
It's brutal. It is so brutal, but you understand why he gets that way. Um and why he's at the rank that he is. Whereas in the original, you don't really get to see that, maybe like a little bit, but you don't get to see it as you would in Brotherhood. Same thing with like the villains. So like the homunculus, you have envy, lust, gluttony, pride. Like pride has more of a forefront in this show than in the previous one. Again, you get to see the characters a lot more. So I feel in the first series it was, of course, it's about Ed and Al's relationship and relationships with everything and everyone else around them and like their journey. I feel like with Brotherhood, it's showing the brotherhood of not only them but also the people that they meet along the way. So we're not just learning about the brothers more. Now we're learning about these essential characters that are wrapped up in the story that make up something bigger.
Yeah, it's more of a character study and more of a deep dive, like you said, into these type of characters. And just to touch on the voice acting, because we talked about this in Essential Anime episode 50. Like this is where the voice acting of, like, I would say the early 2000s, early like late 90s, early 2000s is when the English dub really started to kind of switch people who were sub into dub because the performances were so good. Of course, we have in this one we have Vic Mignogna, we have Caitlin Glass, J. Michael Tatum as Scar, Travis. Travis plays Roy Mustang. I mean, it
Troy
was a
Baker, I
very
think, was Pride.
stellar cast.
I think Troy Baker was Pride.
Yeah, I believe so.
And
Uh,
Laura Bailey as Lust.
yeah. Oh yeah, yep, you're right. There's more. Yeah, you have
There's a
Laura
lot
Bailey.
more.
You had Todd as Ling.
Mhm,
Um, you had Monica Rial as Mei Chang.
mhm,
I mean, it was Chris Sabat was Alex Lewis Armstrong. I mean, the list goes on
mhm,
and on. You know, you had Kyle Herbert as Vato. I mean, it was a very stellar cast,
mhm.
and what they were able to do with it.
And this came out, so if you can believe it. So Fullmetal Alchemist, the first one, came out in '02 to '03.
Yeah.
That's how early it was. And then Brotherhood came out in '09. So essentially, this would be considered old school along with Full Metal, which I can't believe.
Full Metal is already 21 years old,
Yes.
which is just
Yes.
it's just
Yeah.
it's just like the more I'm looking back and just choosing these essential animes, I'm like, I can't believe that this thing is this old. Like kids growing up, our nephew soon, this will be old to him. You know, this is going to be old to our nephew and just go like, oh my god, we can't show AJ. AJ be like, this is old, like when he's able to talk and stuff. Be like,
Brotherhood, yes. Brotherhood is like
yes,
Brotherhood's animation is closer to what we're seeing now. Like it
yeah,
was the beginning of like that shift in animation.
yeah, and I can't imagine like the more we're going back. I mean, there's still other animes I gotta touch on, like Trigun, Gungrave, things that like I haven't even scratched the surface yet of this essential animes, the early 2000s of anime, because it's just like there's so much good shows there, and definitely Brotherhood is one of those shows where you're just going there and it's such a brilliant character study piece on these two brothers and this relationship. I personally like Brotherhood better just because, like you said, that character deep dive, and of course I think the action was a little bit better as well. Just the way they were,
Yes.
the performances were better, the action was better. It's kind of a retelling of the first series pretty much,
And
but
I
they
think
did
it
it.
oh, sorry,
Mm,
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, and I think it's because like a lot of the voice actors came back. So because they did it before, now they can really like really play with the psyche of like where they were back in 02, 03 to now 09, where they're retelling the story again, but now from like a different like headspace and a different perspective.
Exactly. But any last words on Brotherhood?
See it, watch it, enjoy it, because we certainly did.
And yeah, definitely. This is a must own in your collection. And if you want to see the differences comparing, I would say, you know what? Put Full Metal Alchemist on there as well, the
Mhm.
original series as well. Watch them back to back, and you'll see a little bit more of a difference. Just not in the performance, like you said. I think the actors got more, I
They
would
got more
say,
comfortable.
fit, yeah, more fit with their characters the second time around.
Mhm.
And definitely check this out. Action, just oh, but gotta talk about the action. Action's good, man. Action is good.
So
Action, the
good.
fight scenes could be very emotional.
So good. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
especially with
Especially at the
Al.
end.
Al when Al gets pissed,
Oh
look
yeah.
at
Yep.
it's literally like a little kid going off, but it's really good. So
Hmm.
that's our episode for Essential Anime, episode 51, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You're watching this on YouTube. Comment below, let us know what did you think of that series, and if you have any suggestions for Essential Anime, leave a comment as well. And as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube. Watching this on otakusgeeks.com, browse through everything. Check out our podcast, The Hour, that's on this channel or on Anchor, Amazon Music, and soon on iTunes as well. So that's it. We're out of here. Later days. Peace.
Later.